Hey worship team, I'm so sorry we can't all be here together in person this weekend, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to at least connect a little bit. So the next few minutes, I'm going to give some talking points to get a conversation started online. But before I jump into that, I want to celebrate a couple things. I want to celebrate some wins. A win for us on the worship team is when kids engage in worshiping God for how awesome He is. And over the last short 2 months that I've been here and seen our team, just seeing the events happen on the weekend, I've seen some major wins I want to celebrate with you. The first one is, myself included, I got the flu early in January, mid-January. Some of our leaders as well got sick or had some commitments come up, and you weren't able to be here at church. But here comes the win. Some of our coaches and other leaders went around and asked the students, yes, the students, if they would lead worship, and they said yes. And multiple times I got to see kids on the platform worshiping God, knowing the motions, knowing the words, and leading their peers in worship. And that's all because of you. So thank you for what you are doing. Another one I want to celebrate has to do with kids engaging, is when I get to stand in the back and watch everything happening. One of my most favorite things is to hear the kids sing. And I've heard that so many weekends since I've been here. And that is awesome. And that again is thanks to you. So keep it up. All right, let's get to these talking points. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is community. Hope you can see that on the camera there. But something I think is so important for a team is to have community, to feel connected and cohesive and get to know one another. And I feel it's a little bit lacking on our team. That might just be because I'm new, but I want to help with that. Help myself get connected to you guys and to connect with one another. And most importantly, connect with our kids that we get to serve here each weekend. So I had a couple ideas I wanted to kick out to us to be talking about and maybe try in the weeks to come. The first one is I want you to know that you have an absolute permission and feel free to jump in a small group after you come off the stage. So once you lead worship, we finish out large group and go to small group. If you know one of the small group leaders, feel free to talk to them ahead of time and just jump in their group. No preparation needed. Just show up and connect with the kids and see how you can help them be part of that group. Another way is to join the pre-service huddle. So before service in each environment, the coaches get together with the small group leaders. Feel free to jump in that, hear what's going on for the morning, and let them know what you're doing. Maybe let them know what songs you're singing. Just be part of that team. Most importantly, get a chance to pray together. The last one is a couple rooms here in the building that we already have in place to help build that community is the surf shop, which I know doesn't look real pretty, but we're working on that and I'm trying to make it a place where we can gather together, especially the large group team, communicator, the worship team, and the production team, to just touch base, have kind of a hub to gather together, get our name tags, and get ready for the morning. Another place we can use is the volunteer room. It's a much busier place, but there is where you get your snacks and your coffee and your hot chocolate and any other cool treats we have available. So as we get into the weeks ahead, let's see if we can work on building some community as we grow our team. My next talking point is on growth. I want us to grow not only as a team numerically, but also as individuals. If you would ever leave Kids City to serve somewhere else in the church or maybe move away, I want you to leave here better than when you showed up. And I got some ways I think we can work on that and help us all grow, both as individuals, but also grow our team. Our first one is something you might not be crazy about, but wearing or using a microphone. I know right now we have them available on the stage. We have a headset and a handheld, and we typically haven't used them, but I want us in the weeks and the months to come to talk more about that. And the reason being, the why behind that, is I want the kids to be able to hear your voice and to give them instructions, teach them why we worship, to aid with transitions to the next element, or just to be able to talk and communicate to the room, again, explaining why we are doing what we're doing. And maybe, I'd love to see this in the future. You guys are awesome at what you're doing, leading kids in worship. And something that's so important for worship is when we have our communion time. And we have been doing a great job with our devotions and our prayer time, but I'd love to see some of you, that would be a smooth transition out of worship to be able to lead that time. So be thinking about that and praying about that for the weeks and months to come. Another thing about growth is I want to remind you that you command the room. When you're on this platform, you command the room. What do I mean by that? Is as you are in charge. Feel free to invite students to join you on stage. I've seen some of you do that. That's great. Don't forget, you can also invite some leaders. Call out some leaders to join you on stage. And I'm sure they will respond very well to that, seeing you lead and invite them up to join them on stage and have their small group, seeing them on stage helping lead worship. I don't want us like disciplining from the stage or calling any kids out, making them embarrassed or feel bad. But remember, you can lead and lead strong and pull people back in and pull the focus back in as we worship Jesus. Our last one will help us grow numerically as a team, but I want you to know you can invite your friends. If you have a friend that loves to sing, loves to perform, loves to be out front and help lead other people in worship, bring them with you. They're more than welcome to stand in the back and observe and check out what's happening. Or maybe if they know the songs and you want to bring them on stage, you can do that. And you could introduce them. This is my friend so-and-so. They're here to help us lead worship today. Let's all join together as we put our focus on Jesus. It'd be as simple as that. And maybe they'd stick around and the team would grow. All right, we're going to wrap up here. I'm going to give us some next steps to follow up with after this meeting and keep this conversation going. First is I want to ask you to comment below. I want to start a conversation below in this video. It has some replies, a place for me to ask some questions. I'm going to pose some questions to you guys, so please comment back on those. I want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. We need to hear from one another. Feel free to ask some of your own questions as well. Again, I want to keep a conversation going. Part of the comments below is going to have some links to some new songs. I want to get some new songs in all of our environments, in the factory, in the pier, in the studio. So we're going to post some links to some new songs. We want to hear from you. If you like them, you'd love to lead that song, you're not crazy about it, that's okay. I want to hear from you guys. So please comment on some of the links to the new songs. Also, our current songs. I'm not going to post a link to those. I might post a spreadsheet with our current songs and which environments we sing them in. If there's one that you're not crazy about, you don't really care if we do again, that's okay. Let us know. If there's one you want to hear us do more often, let us know that too. As we build the plans in the weeks to come, we can incorporate some of these current songs, and maybe some of these new songs. I also want to hear from you guys about doing this again. I'd love to get together, eat some pizza, talk about worship, listen to some of these songs, watch it, maybe practice a few things together as a team. Let me know if you're interested in that. I'd like to try to get us together yet this spring, if not, for sure this summer. And lastly, if you're here by the church, say you get out a little bit and you're here by the church lobby, I know the building's closed at least the next 3 weeks, but if you're by the church lobby, make sure to pick up one of these cool bracelets. It says, Bring Hope. Ready. All right, I had to grab my Bible. They're talking about bringing hope. I want to share a verse with you guys to wrap up here. It's from Hebrews chapter 13, and I'm going to read in verse 15. It says, So let us never stop offering to God our praise through Jesus. When I read that the other day, I was first reminded of you guys, our praise and worship team, because that is what you do and that is what you lead us in. So if you're by the church, pick up one of these. If not, in the weeks to come when we get back in the building, make sure you grab one and wear it. Help remind yourself to continue to offering that praise to Jesus and then being a leader in that as well. Thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to talking here soon.